Hey everyone, I wanted to go over the sad and I guess disturbing news that we got for Monster Hunter Rise on both the Nintendo Switch and on PC. And I think one of the most undercovered things out of everything that we saw regarding the most recent Sunbreak digital presentation that Capcom held is the fact that it seems like Event Quest, and that would be your typical Event Quest downloadable content that we get just about every single week on Thursday night, seems to be going away starting on March 25th. And I'm kind of like at a loss for words as to how no one else is picking up on this other than me, which seems to be like, a big oversight by a lot of content creators, which, usually don't miss much. So this stems from two things now. The first presentation for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, the digital event, showcased a specific image that I'm going to be showing up on screen in a second. But now there was a post on the Japanese blog as well confirming the same information there as well. So in the presentation, we actually got to see that it reads, more new event quests and other content will continue to be released until May 25th. You can still keep playing anything you've already downloaded. Here they were talking about specifically as they were calling out upcoming event quests, and you can see on the right side, the little image right there, you see the 4 Rajang's event quest that we just literally got this past week. So that is one of the 2 upcoming event quests of the time of this video going up live, the Capcom presentation video that is. The next one would have been that Rajang digital the event quest, and then the next event quest we're gonna get presumably this Thursday would be the left image for Magnamalo and Mizuzune. That would be the next upcoming event quest. After that, they say it very clearly. Nothing after that, because they say released until March 25th. There's no more DLC event quests coming after that based on their very own wordings, which again has now been confirmed by the Japanese blog update, where they put up the same information as well, but for Japanese players, confirming that these updates will eventually cease up starting next week. So whatever we get this Thursday, that would be that Magnamalo Mitsuzune event quest, whatever that's going to be, whatever that's going to take shape. The week of, what are we looking at here? The following Thursday would have been the first of the month. That would be for April 1st, April Fool's or whatever it is. We're not going to get an event quest that day. That would be the first week that they skip for an entire year. Now, interestingly enough, the timing kind of seems interesting because remember the game launched, I believe it was March 26th of last year, and the last event quest would be March 25th of 2022. So their argument would be, well, we gave you 1 full year of free downloadable content. We can't sustain it forever. That would be their argument. And I think anyone else who kind of understands this would actually say, well, Sunbreak isn't going to launch for another 3 months, 2.5, 3 months. So we have almost, 8 to 9 weeks before the game launches? Why can't you just keep giving us free content until that is? We've talked about it at length, how they recently started to give us Super Apexes. That was, I believe at the beginning of January. They started to give us Super Apexes. Presumably, they were going to give us Super Apexes in the Rampage as well. We have a couple of those. The Rajang is one of those examples, not an Apex, but a Super Rajang in the Rampage. But then other of the Super Apexes, kind of like Arzuros, were supposed to make their way into the Rampage as well. That did not happen. We'll also be able to get super versions of the other monsters that we have not still seen get a super version of themselves, like a Super Rathalos or anything along those lines. A Rathian, a Super Royal Ludroth would have been interesting. None of those things have happened. Only some of the key flagship monsters have gotten that, but every other monster has not received that as well. So there's still plenty of options for like content that they could have easily go ahead and dropped. Presumably, again, these are just damage modifiers in the typical event scenario that they decided to not even attempt to do whatsoever. That's the beginning of that. Then there's like the DLC side of things. So we're talking no more stickers, no more poses, no more gestures, no more title, like what are those guild card titles, and layer armors and armors at all. Remember that just recently, I believe like in February, they did like all of February was like a lot of layered armor and a couple of actual armor sets. That's the stuff that they were actually talking about heavily in the presentation itself. You can pick up these armor sets now and actually kind of get carried all the way to high rank with these brand new armor sets that they put into the game. So they're actually like peddling those armor sets and saying like, hey, we kind of gave you what you needed to get started into Sunbreak. But for people who have already been playing the game this entire time, they're not giving us anything else new. It seems to be like after March 25th, that is the end all be all. Again, no more new events means no new rewards. And that's kind of it. Whatever the new patch is, presumably, we are going to get a patch on March 25th. That will be it until the next patch, which will be not even next month. Typically, we get a patch every month. Even if it's not a big patch, we still get a patch. That doesn't necessarily do a lot of, like the last 2-3 patches have not done much at all. But we usually get something. Now, March 25th, we get one pre-final patch. And then we now also have confirmation that on June 30th, there will be a title update lining up Monster Hunter Rise and Sunbreak. Pretty much like damage-wise, weapon balance. They talked about access to certain areas and stuff like that. They mentioned that is going to let you play with Monster Hunter Rise and Sunbreak seamlessly together. But up until then, we're talking June 30th. That's 2.5 to 3 months to have passed without them actually giving us any free downloadable content, any free event quest, anything along those lines. You would imagine for a community that has been very loud about wanting to get more free content, you would have seen people talking about this openly on social media, on Twitter and stuff like that. And it takes people like me who are just kind of like casually like going over the news in Japanese to like even pick up on that, because if I saw this in the presentation, I don't remember it. I had to go watch the event again, and I was like, oh wait, they did say that, didn't they? Holy crap, we're actually not getting any more DLC after the 25th, which was like, I completely glossed over that part of it because it was such a short little thing. If you actually go look at the presentation, they really snapped through it like really fast. I didn't pick up on it. If I would have picked up on it, this was like one of the very first things I would have talked about in my reactions video, how they're just basically killing off the game and not providing us any more DLC. But I'm not seeing anyone else talk about this. I think it's an extreme bummer that we're going to go 3 months without any DLC. Remember how last summer we spoke how they basically stopped giving us collaborations and that kind of like killed all the hype for the game? This is literally killing the game, guys. Like, this is literally them saying we're not going to give any more development time to Rise other than one more balance patch when it comes to Sunbreak, and that's it. Like, that is literally killing the game. Again, their argument is solid. We gave you 1 full year of free downloadable content, but at the end of the day, we still have another 2.5 months before Sunbreak launches. You can still give us something, and they're choosing not to. So no more collaborations, no more layered armor, no more nothing. This is it. So the next week will be the real final one. Obviously, I'm going to be going over if they put any more updates on this or anything along those lines. But for right now, this is pretty grim, and I'm not a fan of it. If you are brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.